Hey, little spoiler warning for you before we get started. Anything from the books we've already covered can and will be discussed. So that's anything for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and also The Lost Hero. So that does include spoilers for the Sea of Monsters, so if you haven't done the pre-reading, be warned. Welcome back to Demigod Debut. I'm Mal, Tyson defender and longtime Percy Jackson fan.
And I'm Julie, Percy Jackson newbie and president, dare I say, of the Tyson Protection Squad.
Okay, then I get to be vice president?
Absolutely.
Or treasurer or something?
You could be co-presidents.
Co-presidents.
Let's be co-presidents.
Yes, absolutely. No, I love him. He is so dear to me.
So cute.
And I am so scared for having to think that he's dead for several episodes, I assume, if we go the same way as the book. Oh, anyway, this is a podcast about the two of us watching season 2 of Percy Jackson for the first time. It's a demigod debut for us all.
Wow.
Crazy. I'm so excited. I did not sleep much last night because I was so excited, and then because I had to prepare stuff. Also, this is like the least amount of times that I've ever consumed a piece of Percy Jackson media before talking about it. So, like, I have so many thoughts, and they're
everywhere.
So disorganized and so all over the place. And you know what? Hey, we're here. I have a 15-page Google Doc of thoughts.
Dear God.
That are about to be in your ears, dear listener. And I'm about to hold Julie captive for probably longer than she would like.
Probably.
And so, buckle up, everyone. Many things to discuss, many rabbit holes to traverse. I'll talk fast. Let's go. Any opening thoughts from you, Julie?
I will say that the editing, okay, besides the first beach scene or island scene wherever Grover is, looking completely fake, not even like they tried. I do think the editing is better in this first episode so far.
Yes. So far, I am impressed, and I am cautiously optimistic for the rest of the season.
That beach was so bad, though.
Yeah, but I will say, looking at that first beach was, the moment that it hit me that, I was watching a new episode, because I was like, this is a beach I haven't seen before. This is a new beach. Oh my gosh, it's new content. I engaged with this in such a normal way, actually, when I was watching it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all, actually. In case anyone was surprised. Do love that we open with Grover. And I love his little questing fit, the jumpsuit.
He's so tall.
He's so tall. They've all gotten so big. But then you put any of them next to Tyson, and, they look so tiny.
I literally wrote, how tall is Show Tyson? Because it's ridiculous.
I wonder if I can Google how tall is Daniel Deemer. How tall is Daniel? Google says 6'4". Oh. So, pretty tall.
Holy cannoli, that's a tall boy. That's a tall baby. He's a baby.
Uh-huh.
Lest we forget.
I know. And can I just say, I think Daniel is doing an excellent job balancing the sheer, size of Tyson with also just the endearing naivete of Daniel Deemer. I'm in awe. So, back to Grover. Panpipes. Huge. I have to say, him getting out the hand sanitizer and spraying it did remind me of you, and every time we would go out to eat and you would, give me a squirt of hand sanitizer.
I'm like, no.
He came prepared just like you.
Yes.
I also did not expect to meet the new character Allison Sims this early.
Should I know who that is?
No. This is a brand new character that they've made up for the show.
Okay, because I literally wrote, who the F is Allison?
Okay, yeah.
I'm it's giving me nothing.
Yes, no, she's brand new, and she's just kind of introduced for the show. So yeah, when they announced this girl that they cast in this role, we were like, who is Allison? All right. But I do enjoy getting to see more of what Luke's team has going on.
Yeah, those traitors. We're not campers anymore.
And I love that Grover recognizes her. These are people that they know. These are people from camp. Mm-hmm. And that makes it so much worse.
Right?
Oh my gosh. And one thing I'm a little sad about, Grover does not play a single song on the panpipes. And I get it. He just got them. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like when you give an elementary schooler the recorder for the first time and they just kind of make sounds. That's fine.
He hasn't practiced yet.
I would love if we got just an absolute trash garbage hot cross buns from Grover at some point. I feel like that's a rite of passage when you get a new blowing based instrument. You have to play hot cross buns. Then I'm also wondering, can he practice the panpipes, or does it just make vines and stuff appear regardless.
That's a good point. Like, I always thought it'd be like he would just automatically know how to play. I don't know, because he's a satyr. Like, it would just happen.
He was just born with the innate ability to play Hilary Duff's So Yesterday on the reed pipes.
Listen, that would be so funny.
I imagine we're not going to get much more of the reed pipes until we see Grover in person again. Like, I don't think it's going to appear in the dreams.
Yeah.
But I hope at some point, even if it's not this season, at some point we get more music from the panpipes. Like, give me a song. I think it would be hilarious. I am then a little confused by the tentacle. I've been confused by this since I saw it in, I think, the initial like teaser that they put out for this season. But like, it appears to be the Kraken. Like, the closest mythological figure I could determine is the Kraken. And that's not Greek mythology, that's Scandinavian.
Oh.
Like, it originates from Scandinavian folklore. And searching tentacle monster Greek mythology only brings up Scylla. And from what I can gather, both from the internet and Scylla's portrayal in the book, it's less like a single tentacle and more like several snaky things with like heads on the end. So I don't think it's Scylla. But then what's the tentacle? Why is there this tentacle drop-off system? I have questions. What is Polyphemus's deal with this tentacle monster? Like, why does the tentacle monster bring him satyrs? Like, I have questions.
I hope it's not something gross.
I mean, like, I know Grover says later it's like all part of his like network or whatever, but like, maybe they'll give me answers, but probably not. That's probably too much to hope for.
So far, we are lacking.
I'm probably thinking too much into it, but who am I if not someone who reads into things?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Percy immediately fall out of his bed because this was all a dream he was having about Grover, but it's also not a dream, it's also real. And Percy's room fascinates me. Number one, it's so small, it reminds me of your room in our first Brooklyn apartment.
That was so small.
Like, he's got the twin bed,
Mm-hmm.
he's got like the desk, and he's got the little dresser, and like not much else. And my number one question, and this is a question that I also had seeing it in the trailer, but why is his bedside table a cardboard box? It looks like a cardboard box. There's also a book on it titled Ancient Greek for Beginners, and one of my friends pointed out that he labeled his desk with a sticky note that says like desk in both English and ancient Greek, and it also looks like he's done it to his bed and the window, which I just love. I think that's adorable. He also, the bowls of food everywhere are stressing me out a little bit. Like, you live in New York City, I know you have bugs. There are so many bugs in that room. That room has to be crawling with roaches. They're just... What, he's gonna run off to camp and he's gonna leave Sally with all that half-eaten food?
That feels very teenage boy, though, to be honest.
Teenage boys, man. What a mess. It does. No, this is a very teenage boy room. And it's also a little bit giving my own personal bedroom. Not the food. I don't have like half-eaten food and stuff in my room, but...
We don't do that with food.
No. The stacks of stuff everywhere, like he just has things stacked places, like that's me. I have so many stacks. I got too much stuff, and New York apartments are small.
So fair.
I love his fire escape full of plants. That's my dream. I'm also thinking about how in a little over a year he'll be planting a moon lace from Calypso out there.
Oh, yes.
Battle of the Labyrinth is a year from now, by the way. Isn't that wild?
Crazy.
The collections of posters also fascinate me, like the dinosaurs, and then also several model ships. He's got at least 2 that I saw, different model ships. And then when we get sort of a different angle of his room, I actually just I need them to give me a full 360 of his room because there's so many details here that I want to unpack. But when he's trying to put his pants on and they sort of give us the through the door, he's got a skateboard leaning up against his shelves, which is incredibly important and true to the skater boy Percy of the book. Incredible.
Love.
And then the most important detail to me, we get finally a close-up on the Lincoln Memorial photo that does in fact include Annabeth, because this was so blurry in the trailer, but I zoomed in and I was like, no, there is an orange blur there. It's gotta be Annabeth. And I feel so vindicated because it is Annabeth. He has a picture of Annabeth taped to his mirror.
I love it.
And I mean, like, he's got Grover too. Like, it's a friend thing. That's fine. But also, like...
It's a little bit more.
He doesn't just have Grover. He also has Annabeth.
Mm-hmm.
He recognizes that she is important to him. And then, a change that's not that huge, but also kind of feels huge. Tyson has been living with them, which I love.
Can I just say, like, total departure from the book. I was so confused.
Yes.
Not that I hate it. I don't. I do like it. But Like, does Sally can't know that he's Percy's half brother, does she?
See, that is my question because like later, and I think it's episode 2, when Tyson says that he wrote Sally a letter, Percy seems like stressed about what Tyson might have said to her. Like he doesn't want his mom to know that Tyson's his brother, possibly. But I feel like Sally knows more about the myths than I think we want to give her credit for. And she has canonically read Percy the Odyssey.
Mm.
And the like Cyclops being sons of Poseidon comes from the Odyssey, like in Polyphemus. So I would think that Sally at least has an inkling. But I mean, she's better than me because imagine being a single mom to 2 of your ex-fling's bastard kids. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised that they never show us like a missed version of Tyson's face, or like they didn't make him being a Cyclops a big reveal. Like it's just kind of known from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because that's not the case in the book. Like it takes several chapters to reveal that Tyson is a Cyclops. Like I was almost expecting them to just not show his face.
Or give us the real actor's face?
Yeah, because the mist even fools Percy. Like, it could be that Percy is seeing Tyson through, like, he's seeing the mist of Tyson, and then it's not until they get to camp that the mist sort of falls away.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking the scene where the last Dragonians, like, throw a fireball at Tyson, and then he, like, turns, that felt like a reveal to me. So I was like, oh, that might be the Tyson Cyclops reveal. Like, that might be when Percy figures it out. But then it was just like a thing that Percy knew. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's also like, okay.
It's a bit odd. Like, I feel like it takes a little bit away from it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I think it takes away from it. It's just different. Like I don't think it's bad and I also don't think that it's good. I'm just like it's just a choice that they made. I don't know.
Well, my thing is too, like, we kind of don't get, I guess not until, like, they get to camp, really, get, like, the little brother feel of Tyson. Of him, like, following Percy around, like, as a lost puppy or, like, anything like that. Like, you know? I feel like we don't get a ton of that.
I mean, I think it's a little bit there at school.
Yeah.
I think because like you have Tyson like following Percy around.
Does he get bullied in the book? I feel like I remember that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
he definitely does. And then Percy also kind of gets bullied by association.
Yeah.
And you know the whole montage of Tyson kind of being a big dork at school is cute and also sad.
But I think it adds to, like, how we feel about him.
Mhm.
Like, we already love Tyson because we know him from the book, so I think it just misses a little bit of that.
Yeah. There are some things that sometimes I feel like they rely a little too heavily on people having read the book.
Yeah.
Like, it was pointed out to me that the word riptide to describe the sword was never said in the first season.
What? Is that right?
I think so.
That's crazy.
I don't think that they ever named the sword. There are just a lot of little lore things that it feels like they never say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. It's
The funny thing is, I was talking to my parents about, like, the new season coming out, and they're like, oh, that's Percy Jackson, right? They're like, yeah, we saw, like, a promo for it. And I'm like, I thought that was so funny. My parents would never, like, I never read this as a book or as a kid. Like, now they know, and I don't really talk about the podcast with them, like, a ton, but I'm just like, yeah, it's that.
Yeah, look at you
Yeah.
doing the Lord's work. Now you gotta get your parents to watch it.
They can watch it, they cannot look for the podcast.
Oh my gosh, bring your parents on the pod.
You know how much my dad would love that? He's been joking around. He's like, I should be a guest on the pod. And I'm like, you don't know anything.
We should bring your dad on the pod.
You don't know what we're talking about. I barely know what we're talking about.
Honestly, like, we should just drop him in randomly.
It'll be his demigod debut.
Just no context. You're gonna consume the piece of media that we are currently discussing, and that's it.
That man's a talker. We will be here for ages.
Honestly, would love that. I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind, actually, because
he does have a great voice for radio, because he did it for years, so.
I think that could be hilarious. So I did say on Threads at one point that I hoped that Meriwether Prep, the school that they go to, was still like a weird quote-unquote progressive school. Like that's how Percy describes it in the book, as quote-unquote progressive. Because like, I don't know if you remember the moment in the book where they take their chemistry final and it's just like mix whatever chemicals you want until something explodes, and then Tyson like knocks the whole tray into the trash and like causes an explosion immediately. So I like put something on Threads. I was like, oh, I hope Tyson still causes an explosion in chemistry class. Ha ha ha. And Becky Riordan my close personal friend, replied and was like, there's a nod, but you'll have to wait. And so I was like, is him making the lights explode like the nod to that? Or like, is there going to be something else? Because like the but you'll have to wait makes me think like, does it not happen in these 2 episodes? Or like maybe she just means this? Or maybe she's just talking online, which is also possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like,
You have to spell it out for us, please.
Becky, what does it mean? The other fun thing. Yeah, podcast is over. Another fun thing, Tyson has a Mets hat.
Ew.
How do you,
Ew.
our resident Yankees fan, feel about the Mets hat?
Pick the winning team, Tyson.
That's about what I thought you would say. Listen, Tyson himself is an underdog. He's gonna pick the underdog.
The Mets aren't even the underdog. They have so much money. They just literally suck. There's like a clubhouse problem or something. They don't get along.
Fun. Drama. I do hope, speaking of drama, at some point his Mets hat versus Annabeth's Yankees hat is brought up.
Yes.
Perhaps in the same vein as this, like Annabeth being like, at least I picked a winning team or something. Like, I think it could be a good opportunity to add to their tension because it's a very weird tension between them, and we'll get more to that later. But like, it's an odd tension between Annabeth and Tyson.
Poor baby just wants to be friends.
I know. He's so sweet to Annabeth, and she is so not sweet back.
I mean, at least she's not like out. She's a little outwardly mean, like when like they're trying to get into camp. But after that, she's more like just standoffish. I feel like she's not like going out of her way to be antagonistic.
Yeah.
Which I thought she was a little bit more in the book,
Yeah. And
she was a little bit more outwardly hostile.
She definitely was, and I mean, assuming they're going the same way with the backstory with the Cyclops and Thalia, I can understand why she feels the way that she does.
Get it, but Tyson's such a sweetheart.
I know, but Tyson. And another sort of departure from the book, Sally talks about driving them to camp. But in the book, Chiron had said that Percy shouldn't come to camp for the summer because of the way that the border was failing. But I mean, I guess since the tree hasn't been poisoned yet, actually, like, they really did, and it's actually just hitting me right now, they changed the order of a lot of the events because the tree had been poisoned, and then that was the reason that Chiron got kicked out. Not just purely because his father is Kronos, but also because of the tree stuff and the fact that he couldn't cure Thalia's tree.
Yeah.
So, but I do enjoy the drama of having them all see Luke poison the tree. But so Sally is going to drive them both to camp tonight. Percy is not a fan of Tyson coming along to camp, but Sally apparently had a dream of a drachma that was spinning with a trident on one side and a scythe on the other. Wow, 2 things that feel so opposite are somehow 2 sides of the same coin. Percy and Luke, 2 sides of the same coin? Crazy. If only someone had said that, like me. I've been saying that forever.
Where is Mal's credit?
I also, I didn't come up with that. I'm sure I got it from someone online.
You got it from a fanfic, didn't you?
Maybe. I am nothing but the compilation of things that I have consumed on the internet. Like, no one's had an original thought ever. We're all just recycling. And we get Tyson doing the voice thing for the first time.
I found that a little unsettling.
It is a little unsettling, but also it's like, it was kind of cute. Him quoting Sally with the being a real hero means standing up for others. Like, aw. That is something that you would tell, like, a 6-year-old who's really obsessed with Spider-Man, who's going to school. She's like, no, being a real hero in real life means you have to stand up for others. Like, it's just, it's precious to me. I also enjoy the little bit of conversation that Percy and Tyson have about monsters, because Percy calls Tyson a monster and then feels bad about it, and Tyson's like, no, it's fine. Like, you have monster friends. Like, your friend... And then he gets Grover's name wrong. He says, like, Doger or Dover? Something like that. And then also, like, how we can't wait to go to Hero Camp. Having Tyson call it Hero Camp is so important to me.
So cute.
And it's so cute. I want to... This full-grown man who is taller than me, I want to tuck him into bed and kiss his little forehead and, like, make sure that he is safe and sound. I would have to probably stand on something to kiss his forehead, but, like, I would make it happen. We also get a little sprinkle of the Tyson backstory parentage situation, because he's like, oh, my mom's a naiad. And then we don't get anything beyond that because the taxi pulls up and out comes Annabeth. And this was a thing that people took pictures of, like, while they were filming it, of, like, Daniel holding Walker while, like, tiny Leah is threatening him with a knife. Incredible. I do a little bit miss her punching the guy bullying them in the face. That was iconic and incredible.
True.
Trying to take on a 6'4" Cyclops, also iconic. Also, Tyson? Tyson will not let Percy have a single secret, and it's incredible to me. The way that he looks at her and he's like, "You're Annabeth. Percy talks about you all the time." And then he turns to Percy and he's like, "You look at her picture all the time, right?"
So funny.
And Percy's like, "Excuse you, I look at her picture a normal amount, thanks. We're not going to talk about the way I, like, tenderly touched the tape to, like, tape it back to the mirror."
Right?
And we finally get, because I don't think season 1 told us where her dad actually lives, but Percy does ask, "Aren't you supposed to be in Virginia?" Which, I mean, I guess means that we can still get the move to San Francisco plotline possibly in season 3. And so Annabeth has also had a dream. She's had a camp dream and tried to call Chiron, but someone else picked up. And gotta say, her drawing that she made of Tantalus is actually pretty good.
Very good.
And between this and Percy's, like, monster drawings that he was making last season, they're a very artistic couple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed.
I do have something to say about when we first see Tantalus, but I'll wait and if you're gonna like do a whole thing about it.
Yes, because we have to talk about the Grey Sisters. What a time. They make me uncomfortable, which I feel like is their role in the story. I'm like, I hate this, but also they're doing a great job. So it's like,
is it the one girl from SNL or something?
Yes, they are. Who are they?
She also voices like Bob's Burgers.
Yes, I was like, I know she does like a Bob's Burgers voice. Well, there's Sandra Bernhard, who I know from playing Gina Linetti's mom in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's one of them. And then I don't know if I know Margaret Cho from anything. That was the one I didn't really recognize. And then Kristen Shaw.
Oh, okay.
Is the one from Bob's Burgers. Was she on SNL?
I feel like
I don't know.
I don't know.
But she's
might
like
be confusing her with someone else.
She's got a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
It's also the way that they keep trying to make everybody Annabeth's boyfriend. I'm like, stop. But also don't. Because it is a little funny to me. Because they're like, "So this is your boyfriend? No wonder you dream about him." And her getting real stressed out. "It's important to me that you know that I never said boyfriend." And Percy's like, "Okay, I believe you." And then later when they're like, "Is Grover the other boyfriend?" And Percy turns to her and is like, "There's another boyfriend?" Killed me. That was hilarious.
I love a little jealousy.
I know, it's like, it comes across as like trying to tease her, but also a little bit too genuine to like not mean it.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed that. But also, I think Annabeth should be allowed to have all the boyfriends or girlfriends that she wants.
True.
She's an icon and a star. I did also want your opinion on weird crusty foot shot that we got pushing down the pedals. I don't know if you caught that, but I know how you love feet.
Thank you for reminding me of that lovely visual that we got. I was trying to block it out of my mind forever, as you should, with all unholy images. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah. I did think about that when I saw it. I was like, oh, Julie's gonna love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, another cute detail, Tyson spends most of the taxi ride hyperventilating into his Mets hat. Like, you can see the fabric moving in and out, which is adorable.
He's just a baby.
He's just a little guy who's 6'4".
It's like when I call Aaron Judge my son. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, you know, so true. It's the same energy. Then, same as the book, you know, we hold the eye hostage to get the coordinates 30, 31, 75, 12. Very important coordinates. We'll hear those again. Despite what Annabeth's dream said, camp is not on fire yet when they get out of the taxi, but it is soon to be on fire because here come the Lastragonians. And we got our Disney World drop much earlier this season because Annabeth is like, "Oh, Space Mountain has nothing on the Grey Sisters."
Mm-hmm.
In case you forgot that she was going to Disney World at the end of last season. And then the way that Percy is like, "Oh, you tried a roller coaster? Did you love it?" Has this boy ever been on a roller coaster other than the Tunnel of Love? Because, like, he says in the Lightning Thief book that, you know, he and his mom's idea of a good time is, like, renting a movie. And that's, like, their idea of a splurge. So, I don't know that he's ever been to a theme park.
Yeah.
Why would he know what Space Mountain is?
And theme parks are expensive.
And Disney World especially
Yeah.
is expensive. I don't believe this boy's ever been to Disney World.
Baker.
But I mean, I guess there's plenty of, like, Disney adults who post content of Disney World, and I guess you could know what the rides are without ever having been there.
Don't get me started on Disney adults. We'll be here all night.
I mean, are we not a little bit Disney
Don't.
adults?
No, they're like weird.
Talking
They
about a
like get
Disney Plus show.
tattoos and that's their entire personality. Okay, we have lives outside of this.
That's very true. We do, in fact, have lives outside
I'm
of
not
this.
having a Disney themed wedding. Okay, we're normal.
Do you mean you're not going to come to my Percy Jackson themed wedding?
I will come. I will be happy about it. I'll make fun of you.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think you have full permission to make fun of me.
Mhm.
Because, like, listen, I love to have interests. I love to engage in consuming media. I can't make something my whole personality like that. I gotta have the freedom to drift to other interests.
Right, because sometimes you like when something's not happening with the one interest, you have something else to do.
No, exactly. Like, diversify. It's great. So, in important news, Annabeth and Percy have apparently been writing each other letters, but not about the important stuff, because they're both kind of upset at each other for leaving things out. Like, Annabeth had no idea about Tyson, but again, she's being a little bit nicer than she was in the book
Mhm.
to him. I don't know. I feel very sad watching them have this conversation because I'm like, stupid monsters. Like, they should be able to keep in touch through Snapchat and sending each other TikToks like true 13-year-olds.
Right?
I want them to be able to talk. So then we get the fireballs. The last Dragonians chase him up the hill. Tyson shields Percy from one. All that jazz. The fact that the border is like lightning powered, probably because of Thalia, incredible.
Very cool.
Love that. Though I do hate watching it like hit Tyson
Yeah.
and knock him down. And I do appreciate that they kept the detail that Annabeth is the one to give him permission to enter camp. And I think it's very cool that she uses her dagger to like divert the lightning or whatever to kind of open a door to let him in. Like, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting, and the way that it makes it so that like one of the last Dragonians can follow him in. I don't know. I was like, this is an interesting choice. Huh. And then our good friend Clarice is here, your favorite.
Blech.
She kills the last Dragonian. Not a Clarice apologist yet? That's fine.
No.
Maybe we'll get you there. And I love how Shut Up Jackson seems to be her catchphrase every time she sees him. Because she says it once in this episode, she says it next episode as well. Big fan of Shut Up Jackson. She's fixed her spear. Huge. And it's a little wild to me that she's like, oh, you know, everybody who's not a warrior needs to shelter in their cabin when attacks take place. Like, I'm not taking responsibility for your dumb deaths. Why would Percy and Annabeth not be warriors? Like, they're some of Cam's best fighters. I know they just got here, but...
They literally saved everyone last year. Hello?
And, like, okay, Clarice. Okay. And I don't think that calling this episode We Play Dodgeball with Cannibals is the right call. But I also don't think that there's a good title, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to call this one I Get a New Cabin Mate.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know. It's not, like, we don't really emphasize that, like, oh, we're playing dodgeball or whatever. Like, the reason that chapter is called We Play Dodgeball with Cannibals in the book is because it happens in gym class and they're playing dodgeball. So, like, I don't know. This is a title for this episode doesn't necessarily work for me, but then also, like, my best friend shops for a wedding dress wouldn't really work either because Grover doesn't. And then, I don't know. I still feel like We Hail the Taxi of Eternal Damnation would have been the best call here, but...
I agree.
Or calling the taxi of eternal torment. They call the taxi something different than the chapter title, but they also never call it that. Like, Annabeth doesn't do the, like, throw the drachma into pavement and be like, stop, oh chariot of damnation, or whatever it is she says. But I don't know. Just none of the titles feel particularly correct for this one.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, because there are such fun titles. Also, surprise, the last Dragonians were all a distraction, so Luke could poison the tree. And so, you know, we run up on him in his dumb tracksuit. I can't get over this tracksuit. I can't. It's the most, like, his outfit this season, from what we've seen.
That's silly.
He's kind of leaning into douchebag, frat bro, finance guy aesthetic. Not that this jumpsuit is, like, finance guy aesthetic, but there's a picture of him in a sweater later that I'm like, oh, this man is from Connecticut. And also, Charlie Bushnell's face acting here. Like, the look on his face when he sees Annabeth, oof. But huge fan of the fact that we get to see Blackjack just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think like the fact that we get to see Luke use this horse really, I think, will make it more personal when Percy steals the horse later. I also think it's funny that Annabeth can just sniff the poison and tell what it is.
She's like touching it with her fingers.
Yeah, probably shouldn't be doing that.
I'm like, girl.
She puts it very, very close to her nose. Like, don't you know when you smell unknown chemicals, you're supposed to like waft it towards you?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't learn that in your 7th grade science class, Annabeth? I know you were going to 7th grade.
Yeah.
Also, it's good that we have Tyson here so that Percy can explain all the Thalia backstory to us once again, just in case we forgot. And then all of a sudden, Clarice is here again to kill Tyson. And she really didn't do a great job earlier. She just walked right past him.
Yeah.
Like, he was there when you killed the last Dragonian, and you missed it. You're not doing your job, Clarice. But the way that she responds to Tantalus, like she is a little soldier, I'm like, R.I.P. Clarice LaRue, you would have loved ROTC.
True.
Were you in ROTC? Or did I make that up?
No, freshman year I was in ROTC.
Great. I was like, I feel like I remember that.
Grew out of that quick.
Yeah. And so then we get our first look at Tantalus. What a guy.
Okay, here's what I have for Tantalus. He looks like an old man trying to be like 2000s emo to date a girl 10 years younger than him. That's what he's giving.
Honestly, what a read. That's amazing.
Very specific.
And so true.
Like that's what he looks like.
Yeah. I also just keep looking at how yellow his teeth are, and I'm like, how did your teeth get that yellow, dude? Like, you're not eating anything.
Like, just because you're not eating doesn't mean you don't have to
brush your teeth, my man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, do we think, like, the toothpaste would run away if he tried to brush his teeth?
It's not food, though. Like, you can't eat, like, there's no nutritional value to, like, toothpaste.
Well, I don't know. Maybe just, like, the taste would be getting to enjoy the nice minty fresh of, ooh, can Tantalus brush his teeth? It's a question to consider. Also, his little satyr friend. Who is this man? Where did he come from?
Yeah.
I think he's hilarious, but like, why does he just have this satyr following him around? So Tantalus wants to punish whoever was responsible for all of this. Percy's like, it was Luke, which is really not helpful in this moment because Tantalus can't punish Luke. Also, not great of Percy to bring up like, oh yeah, you're Tantalus, the guy who can't touch food no matter how hungry he gets. Cool.
Yeah.
This seems like a guy you want to get on the bad side of this early, Percy.
Yeah.
And then Tyson gets claimed with the same big old trident that Percy got claimed with last season. Then we cut to Mr. D just like losing his mind, dying laughing. And he says, and I quote, he never could keep his trident to himself. Am I right?
Like, what the hell?
I was like, I was not expecting that from this Disney Plus show. This is a family show. This is a family story. Why are we talking about Poseidon's trident? Now I feel less bad about the times that we've made slightly adult jokes because, oh look, the show can do it too.
We better not have any young kids listening to this. So,
I mean, I think I already said it, but Zeus has fired Chiron just purely because he's the son of Kronos. Sure. And Zeus has decided to hire a guy who was literally punished for all eternity for feeding his children to the gods. Like, that seems like the kind of guy that we want to hire at a summer camp to be around more children. Sure. Great. I do love how angry Percy gets in this conversation, where he's like, that's so stupid. Zeus is also a son of Kronos. Why doesn't he just boot himself? And then, like, Annabeth has to put her arm to stop him. I love them. They've got so many, like, little physical things that they're doing that I just love and adore already this season. And Mr. D tells us that the danger to camp is greater than we could possibly imagine because the schedule for the chariot races is in danger of being completely thrown off. We might have to postpone and, like, Mr. D read the room. And so, you know, Percy, who doesn't know when to stop, ultimately ends up sentenced to cabin confinement by Tantalus. As he's leaving, it really tickled me that he's like, Mr. D, are you okay with this? Mr. D's like, well, I also found your tone a little harsh. Like, just the Tantalus Mr. D dynamic is so incredible, and it's so funny to me. Honestly, I think, like, already this season is funnier than the first one was, which is great. And then we get a little confrontation between Percy and Tyson because Percy's like, did you know that your dad was my dad this whole time? And Tyson's like, I would never lie to you. We're bros. And Percy's like, we're not bros. Well, you are bros. I hate to break it to you, Percy. And then Percy's like, like, I just have to figure out what this means. And Tyson's like, I know what it means. It means I'm not alone. I'm going to start crying.
I'm literally tearing up right now.
He's such a baby, and I love him.
He's a baby.
I adore him, and he's everything to me. Co-presidents of the Tyson Defense Squad. Tyson fan club. I don't know what we're.
Yeah, it's fine. We feel totally normal about this fictional character.
We feel very normal about this 6'4" fictional cyclops. Also, it really tickled me the way Annabeth appeared. I gotta stop saying it tickled me. I'm sorry. That's a weird phrase. It also made me laugh the way Annabeth just shows up to Percy's cabin and is like, so that sucked.
Yeah.
And the way that she, like, delivers the line so genuinely is the only reason that it works and that it doesn't come off as, like, cringy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Like, very natural.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Because, like, I don't know. I feel like that's one of those lines that, like, people make fun of, like the, so that sucked. But, like, I don't know, just, like, the sheer genuine energy that she brought to it, like, hilarious. And so she wants to talk to Percy, but then she doesn't want to talk to Percy in front of Tyson because of their, odd tension.
Mm-hmm.
So she invites Percy to take a walk. And I appreciate Percy not blowing off Tyson to go on this walk with Annabeth, but it also kills me because then they fight about not reaching out over the school year. And they're kind of like, so clearly we both had drachmas and we could have probably Iris messaged. Because, like, Annabeth had one to call Chiron. Annabeth had at least 2 for the taxi. Like, that's 3 drachmas that she could have been using to call Percy. I'm just saying.
Right.
But she says this is her trying to reach out now. But Percy can't go because he also can't blow off Tyson. Like, it's just, I wish she waited. I wish she waited for him. Because he's like, give me a couple minutes. And then she's like, no, it's fine. Go to bed. Like, Annabeth, he's trying. He's trying. I feel really normal about that fictional relationship as well. I feel really normal about all of this, actually. The whole show. So regular and actually. So then we have a little Tyson moment where he tells Percy, he should get some sleep. You can't sleep on the streets because the monsters will get you. And you can see his back that's all scratched up. My poor baby. And then, like, speaking of poor babies, Annabeth at the tree. And I know that I said in our predictions episode, I was like, I need Annabeth to cry this season. I shouldn't have wished for that. Because
the hell, man. This is all your fault.
I did this. I did this to her. I killed Thalia myself. Mm-hmm. And the way that she's like, even before Luke left, you're the only one I could talk to. Just kill me. End it now. And then, in more fun news, we get Grover Dream number 2, in which we successfully make an empathy link. Huge. And so, for some reason, I think the way that they switch clothes is such an interesting choice. Honest to God, my first thought upon seeing that was like, oh, it's just like High School Musical 2, in which Chad and Ryan switch clothes to symbolize that they're friends now, And so then I was like, oh, we're switching clothes to symbolize the strength of their friendship. And then I was like, but when Chad and Ryan did it, it was very not heterosexual. Like, is there ever a heterosexual reason to just, like, switch clothes randomly with your bro? I don't know. And so then I got to thinking, right? Why don't people ship Percy and Grover? Like, I don't even know what their ship name would be. Like, Pover?
That just feels weird.
Grovercy?
I don't know. Because they feel more like brothers.
Yeah, but I'm like, they do, but the internet is a place that, like, seemingly exists to make boys kiss.
Yeah.
Like, that's what fan fiction is for. And so I did do my little typical AO3 deep dive because it wouldn't be an episode of this podcast without me getting into the fan fiction of it all. There are only 85 fanfics that are tagged as Percy/Grover. Right? And a lot of those seem to be just compilations where they kind of make Percy sleep with everyone. So
what the hell?
It's not even like, oh, we're exploring this relationship between Percy and Grover, right? So just to compare, okay, keep the number 85 in your mind, because that's how many Grover and Percy fanfics there are, right? 85. There are 94 Clarice and Percy fanfics. And then I'm going to get into some horrifying ones, so just be ready. There are 140 Percy/Ares fanfics.
I'm already horrified at the thought of Percy and Grover sleeping together.
Well, you know what? Me too, and I don't want to think about it, but also I'm just like I'm fascinated by what it is about this relationship that like people.
Like, he's a baby. He's not sleeping with anybody.
Well, okay, but like a romantic relationship doesn't have to be sexual. Like you can have a like I don't know, it's just weird because it feels like anytime Percy has ever interacted with another male character, like people are shipping it. Like there are 4,000 Percy Nico fics. There are 2,223 Percy and Jason fanfics, and there are 1,200 Percy and Luke fanfics. So it's like anytime Percy has interacted with any other male character, people ship it. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the deal with Grover? And then I was like, is it because Grover's not like a sexy animal? Like if he was like a wolf or something,
God.
would people be more into it? Like is it because he's a goat? Then I was like, well, maybe it's the age gap and the fact that he's like in his 20s.
Simply do not want to think about this.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about, but I'm just kind of like I don't know. The internet is into weird things. I don't know why is this like beyond our capacity for weirdness? Because they are such good friends. Like I can't believe that people on the internet aren't exploring this relationship more. Like it feels like a missed opportunity to me.
Let's move on.
But it's fine. We can move on. But like they're sharing
Let's move on.
dreams. Anyway, yeah. So the sharing dreams, they say, can only happen between best friends. Love. You know, two bros chilling in a dream, 5 feet apart, they're not gay, all that jazz. I kind of miss that we don't get the lore that if Grover dies, Percy dies. I feel like that adds an extra level of stress to the quest. But then again, that's also not something that I really think Percy's considering. Like, he's going on this quest not because he's like, oh, I'm gonna die if Grover dies. He's going on this quest because he cares about Grover. Like, he couldn't care less about his own safety most
Right.
of the time. Like, he cares about Grover. So I guess, like, we don't
Yeah.
need it, but it does up the stakes a little. And so Grover does finally kind of put all our pieces together that we've been kind of assembling throughout these dreams, but that Luke is after the fleece. He tells Percy it can heal anyone or anything, gives Percy the same coordinates. How does Grover have these coordinates? Like, why does he know exactly where he
Is it a
is?
satyr thing?
Maybe? I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. And so, kind of our last shot of the episode is Percy going to the tree to tell Annabeth, I know how we can save camp. And getting this immediately after seeing, like, Annabeth crying at the tree, being like, Thalia, I'm gonna save you. I need to know how. Someone tell me how. And then, like, Percy immediately coming and be like, I know how. Ugh. Cinema. What an episode. Any final thoughts on this one?
Was the empathy link like more intentional in the book? I thought it was like something like that Grover like intentionally forged, but I don't know if I'm just like remembering that wrong.
No, it was. I mean, that's kind of the vibe that I got from this. Like,
It kind of made me think more like it was just like,
because he does like a it worked kind of
I don't
thing.
know. Like it made me think in the show it was more like, oh, it's like we're best friends. We somehow got this like cool thing, but I don't know. Maybe that was just the vibe I got. Whereas in the book it was like he did this on purpose, you know.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair way to read it, I think. Huh. Yeah. Also, it might have been just me, but this episode felt long.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just like the end felt kind of like I didn't know at what point it was going to end, and I kept wanting to be like, oh, that's the end. Oh, that's the end. Oh, that's the end. Like from the time that Luke poisoned the tree, because I really thought Luke poisoning the tree was going to be the end of this episode for some reason, and so I think that kind of threw me off because I was like, oh, that's going to be the end, but that was only halfway through the episode. So then everything that happened, I was like, oh, so this is the end. This is the end. This is the end.
Right.
I also could have just like checked the time, which I didn't do. I just like watched it the first time. So I think it was me, but I was like, it's not that long of an episode. It's only like 36 minutes when you take away the credits and the like previously on segment. But yeah, I don't know. That was the vibe I had. Not that it was bad. I was just like felt like it was like
Yeah.
a lot of things were happening. Also the credits, beautiful once again.
Yes. Very nice.
The sword is the compass center. Love it. We've got all the things: demon birds, chariot race, undead soldiers, sirens, taxi, cruise ship, winds, Circe, Cronus' sarcophagus, Rainbow the hippocampus. It's all there. Like, I love it. Incredible work on the credits once
Very
again.
pretty. I almost think it's prettier than the other one in season 1.
Honestly, I think I might agree. Like the water theme of it all. Like makes it
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah, I think it's really fun. All right, so episode 2, Demon Pigeons Attack. So we open with the Demon Pigeons, and they are trying to get through the border to camp. So Percy asking, if the Stymphalian birds have acid poop, and then being corrected by Annabeth and her telling him that they have razor sharp beaks. Like, I could have sworn that in the book they had both. But I went back and no, Annabeth is right. They've got razor sharp beaks. I should have trusted her.
Hmm.
But then I'm like, does something have acid poop in this series? 'Cause I'm like, something has acid poop, surely. Surely I'm remembering something. But who knows? And so they have a plan. And said plan involves Percy being a distraction. And he says, getting in trouble is like breathing for me. I've got this. Honestly, this episode, this is the most Percy has ever been.
Mhm.
Like, this is Percy Jackson. Basically, Percy is, since he's not supposed to be out of his cabin, he's just acting normal at the chariot while Annabeth sneaks into Tantalus's office. And we do kind of get our first Tantalus trying to consume something moment. He tries to drink water, but can't get anything out of his straw. And then I'm trying to get a look at Chiron's office. I'm very interested in the, art that he's got around, because there's, a shirtless photo of someone, and I cannot tell who it is. I don't know if it's, Zeus or if it's someone else, but I'm like, who is that? Is that Chiron's? Or is that something Tantalus brought? Like, who brought this shirtless man into this office?
I feel like that would probably be Tantalus, because, when Annabeth, Iris messages him, he's like, what happened to my office?
Yeah, that's true, but also, I feel like Chiron is facing backwards. So I would think Chiron can see, the desk.
Yeah, but I would think,
And that's what he's... I don't know if Chiron can
see the painting,
that
but,
weirdo.
or the whatever it is, but, if he messed around enough that Chiron's like, what happened, I'm pretty sure he would probably, put up his own artwork or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, I'm very curious as to what the heck that is. And it might just be that I can't see. Maybe it's totally obvious what that is a picture of, but I could not get it to pause in enough quality to see what it was. But yeah, very fascinated by the half naked man. Not that that's unique in Greek art. They're always oiled and half naked, but Tantalus' little satyr friend is back and comes in to tell him Percy Jackson is out. So when Tantalus leaves, Annabeth comes in. And the fact that Tantalus's prison jumpsuit and wanted poster are just hanging out in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Zeus, why did you want this man around children? There's also a bunch of Chiron stuff in the closet, like his boombox and tapes. Or I didn't know what the tape she picked up was. Did you?
I thought it was Sabrina Carpenter at first. Like a blonde woman?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't recognize the album cover. Yeah, I was like, perhaps I just don't know music enough, and perhaps it's super obvious. Because, the song that they play later is Mariah Carey, but that's not a Mariah Carey album.
Maybe Madonna? I'm thinking, blonde in 80s.
Yeah. I was like, what is this? I also couldn't read the words on the back, so I was like, ugh. Perhaps I just don't know music. And perhaps I just can't read.
My bet's on Madonna.
That was my thought too, but I googled Madonna album covers and that wasn't one of them.
Oh, what if it's that? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. She was in Grease, Olivia Newton-John, maybe?
Wait. No, that would make perfect sense for Chiron. Hold on. Okay, just Googling Olivia Newton-John album covers. There's not...
Who else blonde singers in the 80s?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
But I did think it was funny. My first thought was literally Sabrina, because there's just a blonde woman.
Yeah, perhaps I actually need to watch the episode on a TV bigger, where I can actually see.
That might help.
Yeah. Okay. So, I also appreciate that Chiron has a convenient drachma available so that Annabeth can actually make this call. And, the drachma economy is so fascinating to me, because how does it all work? Once you pay the drachma to Iris, does she then spend it somewhere, or is she just hoarding all this Iris message money? How can the demigods earn more drachmas? Where do they... it seems like this is a pretty scarce resource, considering the fact that Annabeth and Percy are no, we don't have enough drachmas to call each other.
Mm-hmm.
Where do drachmas come from? Where do they go? How do you get that? What's the cycle here? Is it a problem with the gods hoarding wealth? Are they trying to create a trickle-down economy and failing? I have questions. I don't know that Rick was really thinking about the implications of the drachma economy, but I am. And because why would Iris need drachmas? Why would she need to spend drachmas on anything? Why does she want drachmas to take your call? So, like, she would have to be spending them somewhere.
I mean, not to roast Rick, but like I feel like he sometimes does things without thinking about the implications.
Rick? No, he would never.
And I know you met him, so you guys are like besties now. However,
My close personal friend Rick Riordan? Yeah, right. Yeah, let me call
yeah,
Rick up and be like, so did you consider the drachma economy,
yeah, I
Rick?
need to know how this
Actually,
works. Can you explain?
I need to know what's the tea here. Yeah, it's just like I don't know, it feels like the gods would just collect drachmas and then they would have no real need for money, and so then they just would like the drachmas would just go to them and cease to be in circular like I just I don't know. The drachma economy is in shambles and we are headed for a recession, and
Mm-hmm.
recession indicator, you don't have enough drachmas to call your situationship in between camp sessions. So I always love Annabeth making a rainbow. The way she uses Tantalus's water glass and a piece of the broken mirror, inspired. And then we get Vacation Chiron, huge.
Love.
He's got his sunglasses, his Hawaiian shirt, and a surprise to me, the party ponies. I kind of thought they were going to be written out.
So glad they weren't. I love the party ponies.
I'm so glad that they
I
weren't.
hope they come back.
I do too. And I'm like, I could either see that like this is foreshadowing that they're going to come back at the end to like ride in to save the day,
Or
or
this is all we get.
this is what we get and this is just kind of like a nod to the book, you know? Because it's like it could be either. So I don't know. I hope we see them again, but I also would not be surprised if we don't, you know?
Yeah.
Then the Chiron Annabeth interaction, so many red flags here. But interesting that he's like, oh, I've been forbidden from contacting campers. And Annabeth's like, well, you didn't contact me, I contacted you. And he's like, ah, clever as always. It's not even that clever. Like, she does so many, like, getting into the office was more clever than just making the phone call. I don't know. Like, I was like, it's a weird compliment.
Creating the like little rainbow so she could call him was more clever.
Right. Like, I was like, maybe I'm just a Chiron hater, but I'm just like, this is not that clever. This is just kind of like malicious compliance, you know?
Yeah.
And so then we kind of spend the next little bit kind of jumping between Percy and Annabeth, because now we have Percy who's talking to new and improved Chris Rodriguez. Like, is this supposed to be the same guy who was hanging out with Luke last summer and they just like recast him, or is this a different guy? That's my question.
Right.
Because the other guy was Chris, but they were never like, this is Chris Rodriguez for sure. So it's like, what's the tea here with Chris Rodriguez?
Who is this man?
And what's the tea with him and Clarice? Because watching her try to flirt with him, painful.
Painful.
Awful. I wanted to die. Like, what? Why are you talking about your prey? And like, ugh, Clarice, no, please.
Yeah. I was like, that's a queer woman. That's why this is so painful.
That's why this is not working. She does not want to be flirting with that man, but she thinks she needs to. That's the comp het is a wild, wild beast. And Percy watching this, hilarious. Why is he doing his mouth like that? The like pursed little.
I think he's just annoying.
Get out of here, Percy.
Or enjoying Clarice making a fool of herself.
Oh yeah.
Which I also enjoyed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and we get our second shut up Jackson.
Mhm.
And he's not even saying anything. He's just looking at her. Incredible. And so then Tantalus shows up, and again, the most Percy has ever been. For real. This is such a good interaction. It's like, Tantalus, just in time, you're gonna love this. I found a way to save camp.
Mhm.
Then we're back to Chiron and Annabeth, and Annabeth is kind of explaining, you know, what's going on with Tantalus, all that jazz. So Percy gives Tantalus, like, the coordinates, and I love that his response is, I'm aware of numbers. I have some too, such as 90, which is how many days of summer there are left. That's a very long summer.
Mhm.
That's an incredibly
Yeah.
long summer. Like, I don't know about you, we had about 75 days of summer growing up.
I actually have no idea.
And, like, I was always shocked by the Phineas and Ferb theme song, which was like 104 days of summer vacation, because I was like, who's getting 104 days?
Yeah.
Who's getting 90? Like, NYC public schools get out June 26th, and then they typically go back after Labor Day, which would put them at like 72 days of summer. This is like based on last year's calendar. Some of the private schools get out a little bit earlier, But even that, like, even if you give him 2 extra weeks, that gives him, like, 85, 86 days, not 90. Like, I wanna be in whatever world this is where there's 90 days of summer.
Yeah.
And then, like, also in the book, Percy even says that, like, camp is not usually in session on his birthday, and that's mid-August. So, like, unless it's May right now at this moment in camp, which I don't think that it is, like, there's no way that Tantalus counted correctly. Does Tantalus know how to count?
That is the question, and I'm gonna bet no.
Or maybe he's just so hungry that he can't count?
You know what? That's also a good point.
There was also, and I think they finished this season before 6-7 was a thing, but there was a moment where I like braced myself when he was like, I have numbers. I was like, if 6-7 comes out of his mouth right now,
Oh my
I'm turning
god.
this off.
Can you imagine?
There was a moment, like my life flashed before my eyes. So I was like, it better not be 6-7. It better not be 6-7. And then it was not, thank God. But honestly, like 6-7 would be more reasonable than the 90 days of summer that he said. So maybe I did want it to be 6-7. And now I've said 6-7 like 47 times. So if there are children listening to this, I'm sure they're losing their minds. Also, huge fan of Percy bringing out the little like leather bound rule book to be like, actually, I am allowed to be at whole camp activities such as the chariot race.
Loved it.
Again, incredible. This scene, incredible. Then back to Annabeth and Chiron. The way that Annabeth is like explaining the whole situation to Chiron and is like, we think Tantalus has an agenda. Like the use of we, like she and Percy are a team.
Poor team.
I love it. And Chiron is about to destroy that.
So rude, by the way.
Chiron says, bigger things are at stake than just saving Camp and Grover because of the great prophecy. And the way she like looks up and says, the great prophecy, like she looks so little. I just like I want to wrap her in a blanket and like tuck her into bed and kiss her on the forehead, same as I do Tyson. Like I was like, oh, she's just she's a baby. She's so little. And so Chiron also says that she needs to go on the quest to find the fleece, but that Percy cannot join her under any circumstances.
So rude, by the way.
Like, Chiron, I get why, but Chiron, come on. Also, back to Percy and Tantalus, like, one of my favorite moments of the episode is Tantalus looking at Percy going, you think you're very smart, don't you? And Percy's going, not really, no. Incredible. I love him.
It's funny. It's a good line. It's another good Percy line. Like I feel like
Yeah.
he doesn't get enough credit for being like witty and funny.
Yeah.
But he is.
No, he's hilarious in this episode.
Just in general though.
And I hope that we see more of this side of him.
Just in general, like I think he doesn't get like a ton of credit for being like funny.
I think a lot of what makes him funny in the books is his narration in his head. Like he doesn't usually say funny things out loud. And so I think part of the reason why you don't get like Percy coming across as necessarily funny all the time is because he's only funny in his own head and we're not getting his internal monologue.
That's fair.
So the fact that they brought it into this situation is very funny to me. Like there's that little troublemaker. We love him. I just know that this line is going to be used in so many edits online. Like, the editors are going to have a field day with this one. And so, back to Chiron and Annabeth. Chiron's thinking this is a trap from Kronos, and we can't let Percy fall into that trap. Annabeth doesn't want to lie to him, and Chiron's like, not only do you have to lie to him, you have to make sure that he doesn't know that there's something that he can't know. Like, Chiron.
Come on.
So, like, it's a red flag when any adult asks a child to keep a secret for them, just by the way.
Yes.
And so I understand, like, you can't tell Percy the prophecy, that's fine, but putting it on Annabeth doesn't sit right with me. Like, I feel like even in the book, Chiron puts so much on Annabeth that isn't appropriate for a 13-year-old. Like, she does not need to sit with this. Like, she doesn't need to have to wrestle with this and have this thing that's coming in between her and Percy because of this adult in her life, Like, I just, Chiron, when I catch you, I am a Chiron hater. I really am.
That's so fair, actually.
And then my big wondering here is, does Annabeth not know the prophecy? Because in the book, right, after Tyson, quote unquote, dies in the ship explosion, Percy asks Annabeth, what's Chiron's prophecy? And Annabeth lies and says she doesn't know the whole thing, but it's about a child of, the eldest three gods making a choice to save or destroy Olympus. And then in The Last Olympian, she says to Percy that she read it when she was 10 and she still has nightmares about it. So, meaning that, it could be a continuity error on Rick's part, but he has made it so that, she wasn't telling the truth in the Sea of
Yeah.
Monsters. So I was kind of expecting us to go that route, but this call with Chiron makes me feel like she doesn't
She doesn't know it.
know it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I like that. Like and coming from me who was just complaining that Annabeth has all this pressure on her from Chiron, like that feels too much for a 13-year-old. Like I don't want her to know the great prophecy, but also I do because I don't know, I feel very romantic about the way that she like knew the whole time that there was this prophecy about a child of the big 3 who was probably going to die at their 16th birthday, and you know, that probably played into why she wasn't willing to necessarily be friends with Percy initially, but then he sort of grew on her and she like became close with him and fell in love with him anyway the whole time knowing that he's probably destined to die. Like I just it's so full of angst and I love it.
You and your angst.
I know, I love angst. I love to put characters in situations. I love to cause them pain.
Don't ever put me in a situation.
Well, you're a real person. I don't want real people in my life to be put in situations.
Mhm.
Fictional characters, however, put those bitches in a situation. Um, like I don't know. I just maybe Annabeth has because I don't know. I could also see baby Annabeth like desperate for a quest, perhaps after Luke got his quest, because like I mean she would have been about 10 when Luke got his quest, so I could see her at 10 like maybe sneaking off into the attic and trying to get a quest from the Oracle and finding it in the Oracle's necklace, which is like canonically where the Great Prophecy is kept for whatever reason. Like I could see her finding it and reading it at age 10 like without permission, but I don't know how that would result in Chiron not knowing that she knew. Like I don't think that she would keep that a secret, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like she would talk to Chiron about it. So the fact that Chiron seems to not think that she knows leads me to believe that like she doesn't actually know the prophecy. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And maybe we'll get more about this when we have our inevitable prophecy conversation, which I imagine will come in like episode 5 after Clarice blows up everything if we follow the same timeline as the book.
Mm-hmm.
So, fingers crossed that we get more of this. I mean, I'm sure that we will. Otherwise, why are we doing all this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, just many thoughts on the Great Prophecy. Many thoughts. All right, so then Annabeth and Percy get to have a little recap of their separate conversations. Chiron has apparently told Annabeth she needs to win the chariot race because the winner will get a boon from the gods, aka a favor or prize, since Percy doesn't know what boon means. And then the way that he really likes the word boon and like keeps repeating it, hilarious. And Percy wants them to work together on the chariot, same as he wanted in the book. But Annabeth says that they should work separately so they have as many chances to win as possible, which is not the truth because really she's trying to keep him from going on the quest.
Such a liar.
Chiron, when I catch you.
Stop lying.
She's such a liar. And this is also the only time that she like lies well about this.
Yeah.
Like this is the only time that it's sly at all. And I don't hate this new quest plot line, but I also kind of miss them having a blow up fight about Tyson. Cuz like the reason that they don't work together in the book is because he and Annabeth are talking and Annabeth calls Tyson a monster and then Percy's like he's not a monster, and then Annabeth says something about like, well, maybe you should build a chariot with him, and like yeah, so they had like a whole fight and then that's why they end up not working together. And like I kind of wish they would fight a little more because there's this like tension. Like we have conflict, but they never blow up at each other. And I'm like, come on, let them fight.
You and your angst.
Me and my angst. I have a problem. And so then we get Tyson, and Tyson and Percy get to have a little conversation. And I love that Tyson's first question is, Percy, did you save camp? Yes, Tyson.
You bet he did.
Episode 2, it's actually all over. We've saved camp. Thank the gods. But actually, like, for real, thank the gods that someone wrote Sally a letter. Like, I literally had a bullet point in my episode 1 notes because I was like, someone needs to tell Sally that Percy has gone to camp and that he's safe. Because in the book, it is Chiron. Chiron says that he will contact Sally and tell her that Percy is safe, right? But we don't have that here because Chiron is already gone by the time they get to camp. So they never talk to Chiron. So no one has contacted Sally to tell her that Percy is safe.
Right.
And like, thank God Tyson was thinking of it. But then also it's a letter. So like, this is going to take a long time to get to her. So like, what is Sally thinking? I am always so stressed when this boy does not contact his mother. Like, Percy, call your mom. My mom got me a little sign for my like dorm room in college. I don't know if I've said this before on this podcast. I might have. My mom got me a little sign that said, Mal, call your mom,
Oh,
that I was supposed to put up in my dorm in college, which was cute. And I feel like Percy needs that same little sign. He needs a little thing that says, Percy, call your mom in
yeah.
his cabin, because Percy, call your mom. But, you know, the drachma economy is so bad he can't make an iris message. I brought it up again and now I'm thinking about the drachmas. Like, just anyway. So I kind of already brought it up that Percy seems really worried here that Tyson has brought up the fact that they're brothers. Kind of getting into the myth of it all. There's kind of like 2 to 3 main portrayals of, I know the plural is cyclopes. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I hate that. I can't do it. I'm going to either use cyclops or cyclopses because I just like cyclopes. It doesn't feel right to me.
And that's valid.
So, yeah, there are 2 to 3 main Cyclops portrayals that Rick kind of picks and chooses from. So there's like the immortal ones, children of Uranus and Gaia, who made Zeus's lightning and then were cast into Tartarus, along with like the 100-handed ones, and were guarded by Campe, which this is all relevant to Battle of the Labyrinth. And this is kind of where the like Tyson being good at making stuff bit comes from. And then there's the Odyssey route, which is also relevant to this particular book, where you have Polyphemus, who is a little less civilized and is a shepherd rather than a blacksmith. And this is when the Cyclops are specifically said to be children of Poseidon. And other writers kind of took this and ran with it and kind of made it so that like the whole species of Cyclops is children of Poseidon for the most part. And so like, I mean, I think Sally canonically knows Greek mythology, has probably put the pieces together and is like, yeah, this is probably another of Poseidon's kids. I just think that there's no way that she hasn't. And very impressed with the way Tyson is able to just fix the chariot. Incredible. And the conversation, the Percy, hey, you've met Dad? When can I? Breaks my heart. It makes me wonder if, because in the trailer, right, we have the shot of Poseidon with Percy. And so it makes me wonder if when Poseidon shows up, if he's going to like personally invite Tyson to the undersea forges. Because in the end of the book, he comes to Tyson in a dream and is like, hey, you know, come to the forges. And like that's sort of why Tyson is gone for the next for the Titan's curse.
Mhm.
But I sort of wonder if like when Poseidon comes to talk to Percy, if he will also meet Tyson and will kind of make that suggestion in
Yeah.
person. And I hope that he does, because otherwise, why would they have this conversation that makes me feel so sad for him
Yeah.
if it's not going to lead to Tyson getting to meet his dad? I need Tyson to meet his dad. Like, I will drag Poseidon down here right now and make him look at his son. And so then it's chariot time. Incredible. So the participating cabins seem to be Athena, Hephaestus, Hermes, Poseidon, Ares. So 5 out of the 9 occupied cabins, because Apollo, Demeter, Dionysus, and Aphrodite should in theory also have kids at camp. I mean, Dionysus even says later, like, as the father to some of you. So like there are children in his
Right.
cabin, but they're not chariot racing, which is interesting.
Where's Selena? The heck?
That's what I'm saying. The internet freaked out a little bit because when you look at the chariots in the Hephaestus cabin, there is a black dude in the chariot, and people are like, oh my gosh, it's Beckendorf. And like, to me, yes, this is Beckendorf. But like, also, I know that like they're not going to actually cast someone to be like named Beckendorf until Beckendorf is important to the story. So, but I'm like, we don't mention the Aphrodite cabin at all, which I mean, I guess is preferred to mentioning the Aphrodite cabin in a negative way, but I don't know. It feels like we're, again, some of the lore is just missing. Like, we're missing some of these extra cabins that, like, looking at it, I know, like, I see that there are pink flags around, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably Aphrodite. But also, maybe it's not, because some of the colors are interesting. Because, like, why is Hephaestus red and Ares is black? Like, it should be switched. Ares is red. Ares is red. And that was a strange choice to me. But that's fine. That's not important. There's also like light pink and hot pink, and then I'm like, so which one is Aphrodite? If Aphrodite is pink at all, I spent too long looking at this scene, like trying to make sense of the decor, and figure out like what colors represented what cabins, and like I just couldn't pause it in a way that like it was clear enough that I could figure it out, because like the little like flags that are on sort of the ropes lining the chariot course, like they're not in a pattern, so it was hard to like see what colors we really had, and like I only counted 10 different colors, but in theory there should be 12 cabins. Like just I did not gather as much from trying to unpack kind of the scenic design here as I did from Percy's room earlier. So I hope that someone else out there has better luck than me and that I can enjoy someone else's work here, because like I tried, I really did, and I could not put the pieces together. I wish that I could. But one detail I did notice, there are some very small children in that audience, and that stresses me out. I mean, there were very small children at camp last season as well, but like every time I see the children, I'm like, oh god, those are babies. So Tantalus kind of gives us our orders for the chariot race, and again, another great Mr. D Tantalus moment. The you skipped no killing. Killing not so much, things happen, etc., etc. He wants Percy to die
So
so
bad.
bad.
It's like, how's your biggest op, this teenage boy?
This 13-year-old boy, okay. For sure. Like I feel like you've got other bigger problems,
Yeah.
sir. But that's fine. I also love that the Poseidon chariot clearly rolled up late, and yet they saved them like a nice spot in the middle because they're the main characters, for sure. And then huge fan of the way Percy tells Tyson, don't target Annabeth, only to then go immediately to Annabeth telling her sister, whose name is Bronte, by the way,
Love.
our second canonical named sibling for Annabeth. Someone is finally joining Malcolm. We have a third Athena camper. Huge news. Anyway, Annabeth tells her that if Percy starts to take the lead, to take out their chariot. And, she can't be the one to do it because, she and Percy are tight. Yikes. Betrayed by the one who calls you friend. Also, huge fan of the way that as soon as the horn blows, Clarice takes out the Hephaestus chariot. I also love that, like, everyone else looks really intense and serious, but Percy and Tyson just look like they're having the time of their lives.
Right?
I love them. And then Clarice tells Mark to take out the Cyclops, and then the Cyclops, like, knocks him out of the chariot. And I was like, is Mark a named son of Ares that we have, like, seen named before? And he is. I did have to get on the wiki, but Mark is named exactly once. And it is in the short story, The Stolen Chariot, in which Percy and Clarice go to Staten Island to find Ares' chariot.
Oh.
But she says that her brothers have been messing with her, and Percy's like, oh, which ones? Sherman, Mark? And Sherman is actually like sort of an important character. He becomes the head counselor of the Ares cabin after Clarice goes to college. So that, like, it's very interesting that you have one who's like important and then Mark, who is only mentioned that one time. But apparently Mark also falls out of a chariot, so a second mention for Mark. Huge. Someone update the wiki.
Someone update.
Yeah. Also, then Mark almost gets run over by the Hermes chariot, which like causes them to crash. Like, this is a wild sport. I'm a fan, but also I don't think I could watch this in real life, especially if there were children driving the chariot. Like, it would stress me out.
Right.
And so this is about when the Stymphalian birds finally break through our border. And so Percy and Annabeth both stop to fight the birds. And so Clarice is the only one still riding her chariot, naturally. Love how Annabeth notices that the birds are like clearing away from Tantalus as he's screaming into the microphone. So she's like, okay, we have to go to Chiron's collection. And instead of playing Dean Martin, as they do in the book, they play Mariah Carey's Emotions.
So good.
Incredible. And I did sort of know that this was coming. This has been something wildly theorized about on the internet. Like, what could they possibly be playing on the boombox?
Great choice, in my opinion.
Oh, it was a great choice. Especially because that, like, thing, bit is like kind of a sound on like TikTok and whatever. So like the kids will know it.
Yeah.
It's relatively well known, I think. So yeah, but there was a video that Percy Jackson Instagram, social media presence, whatever, a video that they put out of the main crew of children. And in it, Walker mentions Mariah Carey, kind
Mhm.
of out of context, but then people were like, "Oh, okay, so we're getting a Mariah Carey high note to scare away the birds." So it wasn't a surprise, but I do think it was a good choice. So again, Mr. D and Tantalus, what a pair! The way that they're the only ones that seem to care about the chariot races,
Mhm.
incredible. Like, they are very concerned with making sure these chariot races can continue. And hey, good news, the tree barrier's not going to fail for at least the next week, in which we will all have to run for our lives. What a guy Tantalus is. At the very least, they're entertaining. Like, I am entertained.
It's so true.
And so Tantalus is finally agreeing to issue a quest. And this quest is to go find the fleece at 30, 24, 75, 12. Too bad the real numbers are 30, 31, 75, 12. But I put them in Google Maps because you can do like coordinates. And they both came up with a point like in the middle of the ocean off the coast of Florida. So I'm like, is that second number not actually that important? Because it doesn't seem like there's much of a difference between 24 and 31, and that's the only number that he gets wrong.
Mhm.
So, like, maybe it's just that Clarice is going to get sent off to a slightly wrong island. Or maybe I put it in wrong, but I was like, it feels almost the same. And maybe that's like the point that it's like almost right. I don't know, but I was like, it feels weird. Like, I almost wish they had given us coordinates to something like silly, you know?
Yeah.
Like, give us the coordinates to Disney World.
Yeah.
Give us our second Disney World mission.
Something that was so obviously wrong, you know?
Yeah, like to only get one number wrong is interesting. And like cuz it's like the minutes. And I don't actually know how sailing coordinates work other than like the latitude and longitude of it all. Like I don't really know what the minute part means, but it kind of seems like the minute part doesn't cuz like the second and the last number are like the minutes and then the other ones are the latitude and longitude. So it's like what are the minutes? Like it doesn't seem to affect the point that much.
Right.
I don't know. And Percy also says like he got the numbers all wrong, but he didn't. He only got one number wrong. Like I rewound this so many times because I was like, did he get the numbers all wrong? Like they sound right. Like I didn't even catch that he had said anything wrong until Percy was like, no, he got the numbers wrong. And I was like, what? Did he? And I realized like he only got one number wrong. So I'm just like, what's going on here? Anyway, coordinates aside, Clarice, of course, is getting the quest because she is the only one who kept driving in the chariot race, naturally. And Percy kind of tries to say, no, the dream came to me, I should get the quest. And campers sort of boo him off stage, like, Percy, you had your shot, sit down.
Can I just say, they should really show more respect for him because he saved all of their butts last year. Like, I'm so annoyed.
They really should.
He literally saved the world last year.
But I mean, they do the same thing in the book.
I know, but it's so irritating. I'm like, have some
Yeah.
respect, actually. You guys were all sitting on your butts when he went and saved the world as like a 12-year-old, okay?
But I also think they very much want the opportunity to go and save the world.
Yeah.
Like they want to be able to prove themselves in that way as well. And they're like, okay, Percy's gonna do it again? No, give someone else a shot, you know?
Yeah. I was just so annoyed.
So I can see where they're coming from, but then also like you don't have to be mean to Percy about it. Like he really is the best one for this quest. Like it's an ocean quest.
Yeah.
And so Annabeth does volunteer for the quest, and she goes with the flattery route, which does make me laugh a little bit. She says, you need someone with skills to complement your might. For sure. And it works. Clarice does agree to take her. And then, Percy tries to give the valid argument that, like, it's an ocean quest. I should be the one to go. Clarice is even going to take him.
Mhm.
But then Annabeth whispers something to her, and all of a sudden, Clarice picks Chris Rodriguez.
The betrayal on his face.
What was the reason? Other than having a crush on him.
True.
Like, the only thing I can think is that, like, plot-wise, Chris Rodriguez is going on this quest so that he can abandon the quest to join Luke. Are we gonna have a mid-quest deflection from
Yeah.
Chris? I don't know, because I'm also thinking of the shot of Annabeth and Clarice on the Princess Andromeda, right? So we know Clarice is eventually on the Princess Andromeda. So, like, is Chris also there? Is he gonna be on the Princess Andromeda? Is he gonna stay on the Princess Andromeda? I have questions. I have questions about this and Chris Rodriguez and that whole thing. Also, one more thing, anyone who leaves camp will be shot on sight. That's new and different because in the book it's definitely if you leave camp you're going to be expelled. So shot on sight is
A little more intense.
a little more
Yeah.
intense. Now, I do have to admit that I did know that Clarice was going to choose Annabeth to go with her and not Percy because this episode apparently leaked online. I did not see the whole episode, but someone did make like an edit that opened with this scene, this next scene of like Percy and Tyson talking about what had happened. And so, like, no spoiler warning or anything. I just like scroll upon this scene and I really was doing my best to avoid the leaks and the spoilers, but I am only so strong. And so I saw a new scene and I did watch it. And so I've had a lot of time to sit with this choice and try to noodle around on what it could mean. And ultimately, like, I didn't expect for us to sort of totally negate it by the end of this episode. Like, it almost seems like why did
Why all
we
the fuss?
like we're doing pretty much the same thing as the book with Annabeth and Tyson and Percy going to the ship
Mhm.
with no Clarice. Like, I don't know, it's just again like the prophecy
Yeah.
bit of it is so interesting. And like I don't hate the change by any means. It's just like I'm interested to see how we unpack this and kind of why these changes were made, as we go.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe we're doing all this to tie into her fatal flaw, like with the sirens. Like maybe she's got to learn that she can't control this and like outsmart the prophecy and like she can't protect Percy. I don't know. It's just like it's like the four pearls last season. Like ultimately, it was the same end result. We ended up with just three pearls to get Percy, Annabeth, and Grover out, and ended up having to leave his mom. But we got four pearls anyway. It feels like that kind of change to me. It's like, okay, we did a thing, but does this thing really change anything?
Right. Yeah.
No. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Haven't seen the whole season. I don't know. More thoughts on that to come, I'm sure. But first, Percy has another Grover dream, and it is the much anticipated wedding dress dream. And so this makes me think that we established like the clothes switching bit for the explicit purpose of getting Percy to wear the dress too. And I don't hate it. Like I thought it was funny.
Mhm.
I also it's hilarious to me that Grover put this wedding dress on over his shirt. Like he's got just a regular shirt on and he's got the wedding dress over it. And Grover does have to explain the whole dress despite being like, Percy, don't ask, we don't have time. Like,
Yeah.
come on, we gotta ask. So Polyphemus thinks he's a lady Cyclops, is gonna marry him. Grover has said he wears goat perfume. Like this is all straight from the book. Love this. This is also Grover's first introduction to Tyson, which is interesting because he sees Tyson sleeping in the bed in the dream and asks how Annabeth feels about Tyson being there. And Percy goes, I really don't care.
Oof.
And Grover looks so shocked.
Mhm. Trouble in paradise.
Like, he is so shocked that Percy and Annabeth are beefing right now. I think he needs to sing the consensus song again.
Yeah.
And, like, he almost does, because he's very, like, I'm not taking sides, because I don't have all the details, but, like, have you considered that Annabeth might have done this for a reason?
Mhm.
And connecting it to Grover's betrayal, like also orchestrated by Chiron. Why is Chiron always messing around in Percy Jackson's friendships? Stay out of it.
He's so messy. He loves the drama. That's what I think.
He loves the drama. He loves to get Percy's friends to betray him.
Chiron's a messy bitch, okay?
And it's all in the name of like trying to protect Percy or whatever, but like, what are we doing to protect his emotions,
Mhm.
right? So then Grover has to go because Polyphemus is coming back. And as he goes, he puts on his veil and he asks, how do I look? And Percy just totally deadpan. Beautiful.
So good.
Incredible. No notes. Any thoughts on the wedding dress?
I actually don't remember what it looks like, to be totally honest with you.
I mean, it looks dirty.
Yeah.
It wasn't giving wedding dress to me other than being white. Like, if it was another color, I could see, like, somebody wearing
Yeah.
it to prom or something. Like, I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, I think it's funny, and whatever dress he wore, I'd be on board for. And honestly, this is probably better than some like big number, but yeah, I don't know. I think anybody who's like this isn't a good dress is just a hater. Like it's a fine dress. It's a wedding dress. Let's just enjoy things, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the dream is over, Percy is then off to go on his quest. And Tantalus' satyr man is like lurking behind a tree waiting for this. And so Percy asks for his father's blessing to go on the quest. And then surprise, Lin-Manuel Miranda is here and he's like, "Your dad said quest approved." And Percy does not trust him, wisely.
Why is it always a jump scare when I see his face?
No, every time my first thought is, Lin-Manuel Miranda, what are
Yeah,
you doing
what's
here?
he doing here?
And then I'm like, okay, because I truly do not hate his take on Hermes. Like, I think he does a really great job as
Mhm.
Hermes, but every single time my initial reaction is not, oh, hey, it's Hermes. My initial reaction is, oh, hey, it's Lin-Manuel
Right.
Miranda. Gotta say, obsessed with when Percy's like, well, you're the god of liars and thieves, so, like, how can I trust you? And he says, and I quote, "I invented the lyre and some thieves stole it, but why harp about it?"
Terrible.
Incredible.
No.
10 out of 10 dad joke.
That was a very dad joke. We'll give him that.
Yeah. Lots of good dad humor. Like when Percy's asking for his dad's blessing or whatever, and then he hears, Lin-Manuel Miranda coming, Hermes, and is like, "Dad?" And he emerges from the fog and he's like, "Not yours, kid."
Yeah.
Like, Lynn did a great job. I really enjoyed this. Also, insane that Percy asks, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, kind of in reference to him helping them out last season. And he says, what happens in Vegas is the reason for half the kids in the Hermes cabin?
Again.
Why are we making these jokes?
Dirty humor this season.
This and the Poseidon's trident?
What are we doing?
I don't want to think about what these gods are doing. No, thank you.
Yeah, really.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and I don't want to think about it. So, Hermes wants Percy to go on the conveniently located cruise ship for reasons that he will not disclose. And Percy's like, "You're not telling me something, but you know what? I don't care. Like, I'll do what you want if it's going to get me closer to finding Grover." Then we go back to Annabeth arriving at the Poseidon cabin and finding only Tyson, who immediately rats out Percy. It's incredibly cute. I wrote down the quote. He says, and I quote, "I know a quest is an adventure with 3 friends, but what is it called when one friend leaves without telling anyone?" I love Tyson so much.
He's so innocent.
There's a lot less Tyson in this episode, and I do miss him a little bit. Like, there was so much more Tyson in the first episode. There was less Tyson in this episode. Hopefully we get more Tyson in episodes 3 and 4. And then if we follow the interactions of the book, then we won't see Tyson for a little bit because of the
Stop.
the ship exploding. Or maybe the show won't do that, and maybe we won't have to watch Tyson die. Yeah. So Hermes gives us the thermos and the vitamins, same as in the book. Very excited for us to use these. Incredible. He also confirms that he wants the same thing Percy wants, for him to go and save his friend. Except he does not mean Grover, he means
Mhm.
Luke. And the way Percy gets so heated about this, he's like, wow, my father won't even talk to me when I do everything right, and yet you continue to try to save your son who is like literally trying to destroy Olympus? Wow. Then Hermes hits us with the, "You can't give up on your family no matter how tempting they make it." Like, it is a little bit giving those typically moms on the internet being like, my grown adult children don't talk to me, and like, here's why. And they tell the whole story as if they are the victim when like they are clearly in the wrong.
Mhm.
That's what this is giving. Like, Hermes, your son is doing this for a reason, my man. And
The reason is you.
I don't know that this is the correct way to go about things, but it's fine. You are the problem, sir. And so Hermes leaves him with a little rainbow boat. And my fear here is that this is like a nod to Rainbow the Hippocampus, and we are not going to get Rainbow.
Oh, I think of that.
Like, are they just giving us a rainbow boat? Like, the one thing keeping me going is the fact that there is a hippocampus in the credits. So, like, maybe we're still gonna get rainbow, but like, I don't know. I saw that rainbow boat and I was like, no,
Mhm.
no, this cannot be the only rainbow that transports them through the ocean. Like, I don't know. I'm really scared that we're not gonna see rainbow for real. It's like, haha, we should all enjoy the show. I love it. No fears. And it's like, what if we don't get rainbow?
You.
One
Yeah.
fear. I'm that meme right now. Then we get Annabeth storming onto the beach to come find Percy. He says, "You can't talk me out of this." She says, "I can't lose another friend." She refuses to tell him what Chiron has said, and she finally admits that she did not like her normal life in Virginia. She thought it was boring. And I love that Percy's first reaction is to ask, "But did you watch Jaws?" As if that one movie being good could
Right?
fix everything. But of course he would like Jaws.
Uh-huh.
And so he tells her that talking about things makes them less scary, and so she should tell him what Chiron told her. And she says, unfortunately, it's going to get scarier if she talks about it. And then it does get much scarier because here comes Tantalus with a crossbow to kill them. And the way that Percy puts his arm out in front of Annabeth when Tantalus gets out the dumb crossbow, I don't want to talk about it, except I do, because classic Percy sacrifice situation. And just when you're wondering, where is Tyson? Tyson was just with Annabeth. Here he comes and knocks Tantalus out of the way, and then they take Rainbow the boat, not the hippocampus, to the cruise ship. And Tantalus does shoot at them and manages to puncture their boat, but then they patch it up with bandages. Great. And Percy also has a very cool moment where he knocks one of the arrows out of the way with his sword. Incredible. No notes. And as they're riding away, Annabeth kind of goes, "Oh my god, we're criminals now. We can never return to camp."
That's pretty good.
And I'm sure that she is having a lot of very complicated feelings about this is the one home that she's ever really known, other than Luke and Thalia
Yeah.
being her home, for a while. But this is the one real place that she has ever felt safe in her life. And so I'm sure she's having very complicated emotions, but also the way that she's "Oh my god, we broke the law." It's just
Very funny.
it's a little funny. It's a little funny. And so now I'm just I'm thinking about poor Clarice, who's now down a quest companion.
Meh.
So is Chris still gonna go with her? Is he gonna leave them mid quest to join Luke, like I said, or is it gonna be like the book where she goes off on her own, and then maybe we just see that Chris has joined Luke later? I don't. I'm fascinated to see where this goes.
Yeah.
What is happening with Chris Rodriguez? I never thought I would be so interested in Chris Rodriguez, but here I am. Yeah, that's the episode. So, overall thoughts so far about our first two episodes?
I'm very excited about this season. I think, like I said earlier, the editing is really, really good. And I don't know, you know how much I love Tyson, so I'm excited to see him more, and I really hope they don't fake his death and cause us severe emotional pain for most of the season.
If they go with the timeline of the book and episode 4 truly does end with Clarice blowing up the ship, episode 4 is set to come out on Christmas Eve. So it's going to be Merry Christmas, Tyson is dead.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm not playing around, Disney. Don't you dare.
I hope that you don't ruin our Christmas, Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel's crushing it as Tyson. He's doing a great job. Honestly, all the acting, I think, has improved. Not that they weren't doing a great job acting last season, but I think that they've really grown up quite a bit, and they're improving. Percy is more Percy, it feels to me. But I think that's more a writing thing than a Walker thing. I don't know. I'm loving it, but also I haven't really had the internet try to tell me that it's bad yet, because I've been working on podcast stuff, so I haven't really been all that online. So I like it. I'm having a great time. All right. So I think that we are going to close most episodes with the same question this season, and it is, Julie, are you a Clarice apologist yet?
Absolutely not. She was so insufferable in these first two episodes.
No, I know.
I'm so irritated. I don't care how pretty you are, you're irritating me.
She really is pretty.
She's so pretty.
Honestly, they're all very cute kids.
Yeah.
I'm wow, they cast a lot of really cute kids in this show. All right, well, I guess next week we're going to be boarding the Princess Andromeda, getting to see our good friend Luke. Very, very excited.
Great, I hate cruise ships.
I know. And you hate Luke, so
it's 2 for 2. It'll be so much fun.
I guarantee it will be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see where they go with this. And I love a cruise ship. I love a cruise. I think it is one of the best vacations you can take. And so I'm ready. I'm sunglasses on, just like Chiron with the Hawaiian shirt. I'm ready. I'm ready for my cruise ship vacation. On that note, if you have stuck around this long for a very, very long episode covering the first 2 episodes of season 2, thank you. We love you. And we will be back next time to talk about episode 3.
Hi, thanks for listening. As always, you can find us on whatever social media platform you prefer at DemigodDebutPod, or feel free to send us an email to demigoddebut@gmail.com. If you like this podcast, please leave us a rating and review wherever it is you are listening. We'll see you next time. Bye!